Well, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
You're gonna say one of the people Detroit loves.
I love Detroit. I love Detroit, man. I've had great times in Detroit. I love the casinos there. I love the people. I love Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we can get you to come in to be our new police commissioner. We are looking for one, and after seeing you in this movie,
right.
I think you've got the credentials.
Wow, that's a tough job. You know, one of the things that when I had to do my ride-along research for this, it really put being a police officer in perspective for me because I've always been on the outside, on the streets, and you see a police officer pass by. But being in a patrol car and driving through the streets of the neighborhoods, and you see the way people look at you. Some people are happy to see you. Most people aren't, you know, because they think something's going on, or they think that you're looking for something, and so it's very tough being a police officer.
And probably the second job after that must be a 911 operator.
Yes, yes. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, Hallie portrayed the character perfectly in the movie, but to have to deal, you have to maintain your calm under pressure when people are calling you in a panic. And if they call someone else, and if they call the 911 operator, and the operator's in a panic, then the whole thing is going to go, you know, haywire.
Right.
So it's very difficult. Those types of jobs are very difficult. And I'm glad that we had an opportunity, because people, you know, I've never seen this in a movie, and most people don't even know what it's like to be inside a call center. So I'm glad that, you know, we had a chance to pay, you know, give some dues to the people who pay, or people who do this on a daily basis.
Right, because you're right. You know, most people think, oh, it's just one. I'm just saying, you know, one person
exactly
sitting in there,
one person in the room just taking all these kind of calls, but they take all kinds of crazy calls.
And then, you know, in this case, you've got it where a young girl played by Abigail Breslin,
Right,
just out at the mall, like, you know, any of our kids or any of us, you know, would do.
Right.
And boom, she gets picked up, and fortunately, you know, when I say fortunately, you know, she calls, gets Hallie on the phone, and she actually kind of talks her through some things that actually help, which is good.
And which is what they do. And one thing about that is, the one thing that Brad Anderson, our director, did with this movie, it's a very simple concept. And even just her getting, you know, abducted in broad daylight, it happens, you know. So people really, so hopefully, and it's so real, the way he shot this movie is so real. I just hope really that people really pay attention to that and just be more vigilant about what they do in their surroundings.
Plus, you've also got a great interactive movie here, too, if you know what I mean.
That's what I really enjoy about this movie. I've seen this movie twice with an audience, and the audience is on the edge of their seats, and I really enjoy the talking back to the screen. And I'm just so happy about that. I don't think I've been involved in a movie that has you on the edge of your seat like this one. And so I'm really excited about it.
Go to the mall, hang out with your friends.
Exactly.
Think it's just gonna be an easy thing to get home, but doesn't wind up that way.
Yeah, that was the first day of filming all the mall stuff.
Oh, really?
So that was like the fun, like easy kind of like, you know, just chilling at the mall with a friend. You know, I always love filming at malls. And then at the last shot of the day, they were like, oh, you know what? Let's just film the kidnapping now as well. So that's when it kind of started to get really intense. Yeah,
and you know, here's your character. The next thing, she's in a trunk, and you know that's got to be the most horrifying thing, no matter what, you know, anybody could think of.
Exactly. It's you know, it's something that I couldn't even imagine being in that type of situation. So to, you know, be in a trunk, I don't think that you ever realize how claustrophobic you are until you're actually put into a trunk. It's terrifying.
And I was actually going to ask you that question. Obviously, you know, you're in some type of small contained area where you're shooting. What was that like?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, they built all these trunks, and they had removable walls so that we could put the cameras in and everything. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever be claustrophobic again. But it's scary when you're actually in the trunk. Even though, you know, I knew it was scary for me, and I was just making a movie, and I was totally safe. But you know, for somebody who would actually have to be in that situation, that should never happen.
Right. Right. But your character, all of us, you know, she had the wherewithal, realized she's got a cell phone.
Yes.
Best thing to do.
Yes.
911.
Exactly. I always say, thank goodness for Raul. If you see the movie, you'll know what that means.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
For the cell, thank goodness for Raul.
And, you know, she calls up Hallie, or Hallie's character, or gets her on the phone, I should say, at 911. And the best part is you guys, your two characters, actually work together, because a lot of the things you did in the trunk are like, you know, hey, that's smart thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Hallie was in another room talking to me through an earpiece, and so we definitely got to play off of each other, and that was awesome. And yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that, you know, when you're in that, when I was reading the script, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense that you would probably do that if you knew to do that.
Right. Right. So some good tips, which hopefully none of us will ever have to use
No, hopefully nobody would ever have to use.
in
But yeah.
real life.